Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the second live training of 2026, but our 10th live training at Leap 3.0. Super duper happy to see 35 of us have logged in, but we still have 30 more people to join us. So, this is cue for you to reach out to your fellow Leapers, your fellow team members, and ask them to join in the next 2 to 5 minutes. On that note, once again, welcome, and let me lay down a few ground rules. The first being, please rename yourself with your Leap ID. And I hope you have joined in from a good place of internet connectivity. There are no workbooks for today, so you don't have to open them because today we're going to deep dive into healthy conversations. Please do be on mute unless you are required to speak, but that does not stop you from coming on video. So please switch on your video, and we would love to have an engaging session today with all of you. On that note, let's play a small game, but for this game, unfortunately, I can have only 5 volunteers. So the first 5 people to raise your hand, I'm going to ask you to play the game. All right, so I have Srihari as player 1, Rupa player 2, Karthik 3, Sibaram 4, and do I see the fifth person? Ram Prasad. All right. Well, the others, you can also play along, but these 5 will be answering questions that I throw at them. It's very simple. You'll get 5 seconds to answer each question. So, for example, I would say, name 3 continents, and you have 5 seconds to answer 3 continents. We'll do 3 rounds. We'll do 3 rounds and see how fast we are. All right. Let me spotlight them so it's easy for me to. All right, Rupa. Then we have 3 as Karthik, Sibaram, and Ram Prasad. All right. So, Srihari, all of you can can unmute yourself. All right. Srihari, name 3 things that are loud.
Around me, I have the TV remote, I have a pair of
Time up,
scissors,
time up, time
and a
up,
pack of chips.
time up. Okay, but I'm not giving it to you. Rupa, name
Name
3 TV brands.
okay TV brands LG, Sony, and it's not Google
Time
TV.
up. Time up. Sorry. This is a little difficult. Karthik, name 3 types of pests. Okay, no worries.
Lizard. Perfect.
Let's go to Sibaram. Sibaram, name 3 plants.
Rose, roseberry, banana.
Now, I'm not going to give you a point for that because banana is not a plant. But hey, that's how you have to deal with pressure. Ram Prasad, name 3 types of frozen food.
Uh, Oats, biscuits, chocolate.
That is not frozen, so
French
I'm not going
fries,
to give it to you.
dumplings,
All right, so we'll do one more quick round and then move on to the session. Srihari, name 3 fruits that you can find in a forest.
gooseberry, mulberry, blackberry.
Okay, I'll give it to you. Rupa, name 3 things that you can iron.
Paper, clothes, and the leaf.
Okay, I don't know if you can iron a leaf, but okay.
Yes, to put in the graph on the charts.
Oh, one chart. All right,
Yeah.
cool. Karthik, name 3 sea creatures.
Well, dolphin and okra.
Okay, good. I'll give it to you. Sivaram, name 3 fruits.
Apple, banana, and orange.
Banana worked here this time. I'll take it. And lastly, Ram Prasad, name 3 annoying mom traits.
Banai?
Your mom traits.
Get home on
Sorry.
time, clean your room.
No worries. But let's give the 5 of them a huge round of applause for being so sportive. I hope you had fun. And hey, that's how you have to deal with pressure. Let's now move on to the session because we have a lot in store for you. And to take us forward, I have the privilege of introducing our Leap 3.0 chair. I'm sure you know so many things now about her, but if I had to choose three things, I would say, well, she's an author. Two, she's a good friend, and three, hmm, I'll leave you to guess what the third thing is because I'm sure each one of you have something different but good to say about her. Please put your hands together for our Leap 3.0 chair, distinguished Toastmaster Jyotika Shetty.
Thank you very much, Daryl. See, second you said I'm a good friend, and third you started thinking. So I really don't know which one is right, Daryl. Thank you very much, and a warm good evening to all the leapers and the mentors present here, and a special good evening to our facilitator, Toastmaster Shannon Glasgow. A warm good evening, Shannon. It's really a pleasure to have you with us. All right, last 2 days have been very eventful. I don't know how you felt, but I have a lot of good things to say about the last 2 days. But before I begin, I want to hear from at least 2 or 3 leapers quickly in 15 seconds. What was your experience that you had in your presentation? Who would like to go first? So just to brief Shannon, since you might be wondering what this is all about. So for the last, our leapers went through a individual presentation in this entire journey that they've had. So the first 3 levels of our framework was converted into an individual project, and they had to execute it. So for the last 2 days, our leapers presented it, and they were judged on that. And today, I'm also going to announce the top 9 projects that will move to the second phase of presentation, but I'm not going to reveal it now. I'll reveal it after 2 hours. So you'll have to wait for the result. Good things take time, right? But I would like to hear from you. What is it how did you feel about the entire process? Sharanya, will begin with you.
Yeah, it was a little stressful, but one thing I really enjoyed about the process was going in, I had a singular goal, but then I realized that there were so many other good things that came along with the process. So I was very happy about how it ended at the end of the whole 1 month process.
Very good. So you agree that the learning was good, right? The process was
Yes, absolutely.
very good, very good. All right, Ashima, I'd like to hear from you, or we'd like to hear from you. Over to you.
Thank you so much. It was fun creating a lot of things in 1 month, as if I'm just satisfying my inner child. And there were so many things that I loved doing while in the whole 1 month project. But the fun part is the presentation. It felt as if it was a viva in a college. You just went in, saw 2 people listening at you, and just come back. That's all. So, yes.
Yes. In fact, someone came in and asked, Daryl, do we have a Viva? So I was like, okay. I don't know who it was, but that was fun. That was a fun question to answer. All right, let's move on to Karthik. Over to you, Karthik.
Yes, thank you very much, distinguished Toastmaster Jyotika. Very good evening, Leapers. My experience, it was not just yesterday, but then the project guidelines, when it started flowing, it was like amazing. And then I chose my project title as Emotional Stability as a Leader. So that's very important as a leader, where we have to show our leadership skills. So the main method I used is that PBR. That's pause, breathe, and respond. So that itself got a real, the outcomes were real, and I cannot just explain it. The way I react, my people might have actually showed a different kind of reaction from their end as well. When I paused, I took a breath and I chose the words that made them think how they have to respond instead of they reacting. So that itself was a great impactful. And then yesterday's, it was like just that 5 minutes, it's like, I don't know, it's not at all sufficient. The presentation, how much ever we have prepared for, but then it was too short, is what I feel, with the technical challenges. with the time constraint. The learning was immense. The experience was great, is what I can say. But this emotional stability, it's not just for the project I took, it is for my life. I'll be carrying it forward because the outcomes are really brilliant. I would recommend you all to please follow the same. Amazing. Thank you. Over to
Lovely,
you,
lovely, Karthik. That's really that's a great project. And going back to the challenges you mentioned, I think it's also a good time for you to think which is another path in pathways that you have to go back to improve your presentation skills or technical skills. Probably you could take this as a learning to go back because you see, in public speaking, brevity is very important. All right, now, Barinder, yes, would you like to speak? Please go ahead.
Yeah, this 1 month project was fantastic and very exciting. I took a simple challenge to digitally detox and improve my reading. So the best thing was I was not aware where I was spending my time on screens, which now is a very measured thing. Over 1 month, I could measure which apps I'm using, which I have to delete. Lot of things happen, and after many years, I finished 3 books in a month, which
Wow.
was,
Okay.
and I'm already on the 3 more, including one recommended by our speaker, Thinking Fast and Slow, and that is a tough read.
Very
Yesterday,
good.
after a month, when the presentation was giving in last 1 hour, the situations changed, and I had to take up the meeting from a Starbucks, which was full of noise, and I had to request many people to lower their volumes, requested Starbucks to lower the music so that there is
Okay.
less noise
Okay.
going out, but
All
it
right.
went out. Thank
Great,
you.
Barinder. Really nice to hear that you managed to finish 3 books. That is a great accomplishment. Really, congratulations to you, Barinder. All
Thank
right.
you. Thank you.
But what I'd recommend to all of you is continue the practice that you've started. If it's really had an impact in your life, please continue the practice. This is not just a 30 days project, but it's a project for life. I will not be able to take more because we also have to start our session. And therefore, is it okay if if I continue the meeting, or Rosmi, would you like to? Would you like to speak for maybe 15 seconds?
Yeah,
We're
sure,
given
ma'am.
5 minutes for the project, right? Now I'll give you 15 seconds.
Yeah. So this is the first time I could do something continuously for 30 days and I'm continuing. And I could see that I want to share the positive influence on my family. We did 10K steps. So we had started a competition, me, my husband, and son. I won the competition because I did not skip even one day. Say, like our project, I said, one day you can skip, but they fall sick and they skip 2 or 3 days. Since though I fall sick, I thought I'll do that. I'll do the 10K steps completely. And we did our first family marathon. So just I'm very proud to say that. So we were doing 2K steps in a day on an average. From that, we did 10K steps and we finished our first marathon in December 2025. Family marathon, like with
Very
3 of
good.
us. That was
Excellent.
on our wish
Excellent.
list for a long time. I'm
Excellent.
continuing that. Yeah, thanks for
Yeah,
that.
good. If it's having good health benefits, and I think it's worth continuing. Congratulations, Rosmi. All right, Bindushri will be the last one that we'll be taking. Bindushri, 15 seconds for you. Over to you.
Sure. Thank you, Satika ma'am. So when I started this project, my goal was to become a good team player because my purpose was planning. I used to lose a lot of time. But by the time I finished, I realized I also become a very good mother because my planning also included that I have to plan meals for my daughter, along with planning how my day goes. So when I was giving my presentation yesterday, I had that proud feeling that I'm coming out of the guilt of that I couldn't do enough at work and office, but I felt that I'm slowly coming out of the guilt and becoming a better team player and a mother. So I would really continue this for long. So thank you so much for this
Wow.
project.
That's so inspiring, Bindu. Really inspiring. And hearty congratulations. That's really nice to hear that. So, congratulations to all of you. Now, they say that feedback is the breakfast of
Champions.
champions. But in Leap, feedback is the breakfast of leapers. So I'm going to give you some feedback on what our judges felt, because this is a learning process. So there's no one good or one bad, nothing like that. I just want to give you some feedback so you can improve. So good things first, and first things are always the good things. And the general feedback that we've received from our judges or the assessors was that it was the projects were very sincere. There was a lot of sincerity in the project, and that's a very good thing. There was honesty. That is something that we look for in leaders. So there was a lot of honesty. Many of you were well prepared. Also, they found that, see, many of the, I think some of the assessors we had were not even LEAP mentors, and therefore it was all new for them. They said it was practical, and there was a lot of value that was added, and that was a real point that really stood out for them. And they also felt that you all made good effort. And when I heard all of this, I really felt very happy. So congratulations to each one of you. If you've done even one from all these recommendations that I have, or not the commendations that I have mentioned, even one point if you've done, be proud of yourself, because this is an effort, and always discipline is very difficult, and you've done that. So congratulations. Now for some recommendation. There's always some recommendation that is required to get better, right? So here are a few recommendations that you would want to adapt. I'm not particularly giving it to each leapers. It is a general feedback. So if it's applicable to you, please take it. First thing is learn to deliver projects within time. And this requires preparing, practicing, and presenting, which is the 3 P's of public speaking. They are prepare, practice, and present. So 5 minutes can be a lot, and therefore please do that. That is, manage time well. Second thing is, they've highly recommended that you continue the habit, which I've already mentioned. The third one is, some of them may want to work on your presentation skills. That is the PowerPoint, or even presenting within the time. So I would like to give it to the PowerPoint presentation. Please work on your presentation skills, because that's not covered in LEAP, and therefore that is something that will help you in your professional life. So please work on those presentation skills. Also, some of them, I think, had some mismatch between the synopsis or the project brief and the presentation that was made. So if you are one of them, if you've presented something that was different than the project brief that was presented, I highly recommend that you go back and look at why this happened. Is it because of lack of commitment or lack of clarity? Therefore, you may want to work on that particular area that needs to. I would probably say that please read and understand the document well, because the result of mismatch between the synopsis and presentation could also be because you've not read the project objectives well. And therefore, it's very important to read the project objectives. Those documents are prepared with so much of hard work, love, and affection. And therefore, please read those documents well. It is good for you. It's a good habit, so you can present your work well. With that, I would like to now move on to the main. So congratulations, all of you. I'm really proud of you. Now let's move on. Okay, we'll clap. We'll clap for you. Shannon is clapping, so I follow Shannon. All right. Now let's move on to the main, the session today. And this session is this person who's going to come, you know already, it's Shannon who's going to come on the screen. But I have a very special relationship with Shannon, because Shannon has been in Toastmasters for 30 plus years. I can't claim that's my age, but somewhere near, Shannon. But he's been in Toastmasters for 30 plus years. I think probably some of you are not even 30 here. So you know he's the, can I say grandfather of Toastmasters, Shannon? No, I'll say father of Toastmasters. All right?
Uncle.
Uncle, all right. Uncle of Toastmasters. Now, I've been in Toastmasters for 12 years. So technically, I should have known Shannon for at least 11 years. But I can't claim I know Shannon for 11 years, because although I knew there was someone called Shannon, I got to know of Shannon only in 2019, when I nominated myself for the position of the division director. Now, what was he doing? No, he was not a fellow division director, but he was one of the DLC members who had called me to interview me. Now, why this is important to say is, I expected someone serious, probably like me, because some of you say that I'm serious, who called me, and someone strict trying to interview me. But on the other side, I hear this gentle voice, the most gentle voice, calling me and saying, "Can we speak?" And he made this interview feel like as if I wanted to sit for more interviews. He just made it so good. And thankfully, Shannon was one of the first interviewers, and I felt so good about it. So thank you, Shannon, for uplifting my confidence that day. And you showed me what what kindness and humbleness means, because you personify those two qualities. And I say it from my heart. So thank you very much. But if I have to explain, or rather, if I have to introduce his laurels and his accomplishments, I would say he is someone who walks the walk and talks the talk. He's lived in the Arabian Gulf for 4 decades, has been an English language professor at reputed universities such as Al Ain University and Abu Dhabi University. Few years back,
UAE University.
UAE University, and sorry, Shannon, UAE
No, just
University.
UAE University. Al Ain University is the
Oh,
rival
okay.
of Abu Dhabi
Rival, all
University.
right. So Abu Dhabi University, all right, okay. A few years back, he moved back to the United States to take care of his aging parents. While going through this difficult transition himself, he chose to also help people going through the same situation as him, resulting in founding an organization called CareLift Solutions LLC, a mission-driven platform dedicated to supporting caregivers and individuals facing mental health challenges. His work focuses on providing tools, mindset shifts, and financial strategies that empower individuals to navigate caregiving and mental health complexities with resilience and balance. To this effect, he has also authored two international best-selling books titled The Gift of Walking Beside and What They See and What We Know. As an author and coach, he creates programs and resources that address burnout and foster emotional and financial sustainability. Today, he's here to deliver a very important session on healthy conversations, because healthy conversations help you become successful leader and individual. Please help me welcome with a thunderous round of applause Toastmaster Shannon Glasgow. Over to you, Shannon.
Thank you so much. Before we start, I would just like to say I'm already learning, because in all the meetings we learn. For example, from Daryl's session, I learned that bananas do not come from banana plants, because he said that bananas aren't plants. And I'm wondering, all my life, I thought bananas came from banana plants. So I have to figure that one out. Also, I heard twice roseberry. This is not a term I'm familiar with, so I'm going to look it up.
Gooseberry.
Gooseberry.
Yeah.
Amla.
Yeah.
Amla. I kept hearing roseberry. And I said, what is a roseberry? Must be. Okay, so that's good. That's clarification. And one last thing before we start, and I apologize for picking on somebody, but I'd like to ask, I see somebody called Nitin here. Does Nitin, is everybody based in India, or do some people work in the UAE or the Gulf?
No, all from India, Shannon.
Okay, so just one word of advice, because I have a good friend, I worked with a good friend at Abu Dhabi University called Nitin. In case you ever travel to an Arabic-speaking country, you can direct message me what Nitin means in Arabic. I'm not going to say it in public. In case, Yeah. So we've got some slides to go through, and as I mentioned, you can go ahead and share that with everybody. Afterwards, they can have access to the screens, to the slideshow. Okay, so are we ready to start? Okay, so let's go to the first slide. Okay. So these are going to come. Okay. Yes. Okay. So The objectives for today are these 3 items. A lot of it is, there's a basic communication model that has 4 pieces: speaker, method, message, listener. Today, we're going to be focusing on the speaker in a leadership context. And one of the practices we'll be looking at is this listen, validate, lead model, which we'll be talking about afterwards. And again, you don't need screenshots or anything because you can have the slides. That's fine. And this is so important because I remember a situation before COVID when I was in the UAE, and I was in a situation, a conflict situation, where it was, I really learned that sometimes we just have to kind of shut up and listen so that we can hear. Because if we're trying to talk at the same time that the other person is trying to, to talk, then we'll get nowhere except, high blood pressure. So this is what we're going to be working on. We're going to first start looking at ourselves as speakers. Then we'll be looking at what happens inside communication. And finally, we're going to be looking at how we can improve our communication in the leadership context. I don't like talking too much, so we've got 3 breakout sessions. And that way, I figure we learn from each other. The breakout groups will have 3 members in each one with assigned roles. And I think that's where more learning takes place. I mean, really, if you look at your life, how much did you really learn from teachers and how much did you learn from collaborating with your classmates? For me, I always learn from my classmates more than my teachers. Okay, next slide. So one of the things we'll be doing is, like I said, it's a self-awareness so that we can do the role play and apply what we're talking about here. And then we'll be submitting a reflection, identifying the areas for personal growth. Now, this will be in the chat because I'm not sure how time will be, but a lot of this will be in the chat because I think that the chats will be saved too as well, won't they? You'll be able to access the chats in the recording?
Yes, Shannon.
Yeah, fantastic. So that's where we're going to go from this. Next slide. Now, do you remember back in, when was it? Back in September, October, there was a survey that you completed about the challenges you were facing in communication, especially in a leadership context. Does that ring a bell, or is that is that ancient history now?
We remember that. Yeah.
Okay, fantastic. So what happened is from the survey, and it's so nice because I've got the detailed results of what everybody wrote and all this stuff. But you've got your commonalities. For example, here, more than half said staying calm when emotions rise is the biggest challenge. And sometimes we do get so wrapped up in the moment that we kind of lose ourselves, which is dangerous because when when the blood flows to the brain, it doesn't mean the brain works harder. It means that we can get ourselves into dangerous situations. Nearly 2/3 said that they avoid difficult conversations. We take the easy route out. And most said that they're afraid to speak, but they don't want to speak because they don't want to damage the situation. I may need something from that person, or if I do this, then we're going to have that situation. We're not allowed to talk about politics, sex, or religion in Toastmasters, but in my country right now, we have a lot of issues with these things right here. Okay, next slide. So basically, what I got from the results was that it's not so much that we struggle what to say. It's not like it's not so much that. It's the more personal the conflict becomes, we start questioning what we say, what we do. We start double thinking and triple thinking and this kind of thing. So that's what we're going to be focusing on today, starting with looking at ourselves. Next slide. So again, I told you I don't like talking too much. In my classes, I was the same. Okay, class, here's 5 minutes. Go do the work. So basically, what we're going to do is just a very short breakout session. What we're going to do is we're going to discuss 2 minutes each. We're going to have 3 people in each breakout session. And basically, we're going to describe a conflict situation. Maybe you talked about it in the survey, maybe something else has come up. But before we go to the breakout session, I'm going to ask you to do something. And that is close your eyes for a minute. I'm not going to close my eyes because I kind of need to guide you through this. Just close your eyes for a minute. And before we go to the breakout session, try to focus on one conflict that you've had that really kind of haunts you, that really you feel bad about, that you said, oh, I should have done this differently. Oh, or you can't get over it. I want you to imagine the situation, the room you're in, the context of this conflict. Picture the other person. Picture your interaction. Picture your feelings before, during, and after the conflict. What are you feeling in this situation? Before you went in, maybe it happened unexpectedly. Maybe it was a planned meeting. What were you feeling before? As the conflict happened, what happened inside your body? And then afterwards, how did you feel? Do you have that picture in your mind? Okay. Now let's go to the first breakout session. And this is just sharing. There's no analyzing or anything like that. It's just acknowledging what was going on in this conflict situation. We don't need to go into details. We just need to share with each other. Well, in general, this happened. And, before I thought this, and then I felt this, and afterwards I felt this, and just looking at our feelings. Okay, so can we break out into breakout rooms of 3, please?
Right, and they have 6 minutes, right?
Yeah, they have 6 minutes, 2 minutes each.
All right, I will open the room.
Okay, let me know when everybody's in the room.
Waiting for a few minutes. Yeah, we can begin.
Okay. With that exercise, do you feel more stressed or less stressed?
Less stress.
It revealed something within that we already had, but we didn't take that into consideration until we spoke about it.
Yeah, exactly. One of my closest friends is an Emirati guy. He's got some mental health issues. And he used to talk about triggers. And I never thought in terms of triggers, why I would be upset about things. And when he said, "Oh, that triggered me," When I started thinking in terms of triggers, then I realized, yeah, that's a good term, something that will get you more aware of what's going on. So Jyoti said we need to call on 3 participants to share what happened in their group. And I'm supposed to call on 3, but I have to see hands. The first one is Latha.
Good evening, Shannon, and all my leapers. It was an exciting 5 minutes what we had. We discussed about our leadership problems, leadership emotions, how did we get there, and how do we react, respond, and what is our situation now. So it felt good. I'm not only in the same boat, not alone me. I have a lot of other 2 people also riding the same boat. And we understood that, okay, human emotions across everyone is the same. Now, how do you respond to it? That's what it matters for us. Thank you.
Yeah. It's sort of like that saying that says, we can't change what happens to us. We can only change how we react to what happens to us. No, excellent. Thank you for sharing. Karthik?
Yeah, hello, distinguished Toastmaster Shannon. Thanks for the opportunity. So I was with 2 other Toastmasters, Toastmaster Meenakshi and Toastmaster Sharath. One being they spoke about how exactly the Toastmasters, while giving the speech, how exactly the timing happened. There was a discrepancy on the timing, so there was no control, and they had to talk a lot without control. So after given point of time when thought, she said that if I must have been calm a little, then it must have been worked out in a different way. And Toastmaster Sharath said he was an NSS officer, so he had arranged some adventure camp, but then there was this 5 students went to a cliff without informing him. So he was in very much anger, held at them. And then later point of time when he sat and realized that he has outburst his emotions, but then instead of that he could have been calm. That was the total scenario. And I shared my own experience just during the meeting happened. It was all about everybody's day-to-day experience, which is the parking issue. I had to make them understand how exactly it feels like if you have parked your vehicle in someone's space. So I made him understand in a very good manner. So he bent for whatever I told and he acknowledged it. He'll not be going forward doing it the same. Thank you. Over to you, Shan.
No, thank you. And how did you all feel about this exercise?
That's what. We need to be very emotionally stable so that the outcomes are very much different.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Yeah.
Which is
And
very
that's not
powerful.
always easy to do. I mean, we just, it's sort of like, don't hit your kid. Breathe 10 seconds first, and then, or there's one story I love of this guy. He'd have a lot of stress at work, and then he'd have all these problems. And when he didn't want to take the problems back to his family. So what he would do is he'd go, there was a tree in front of his house. He put his problems in the tree so that when he went to his family, he wasn't carrying that extra baggage. And the crazy thing is, the next morning when he went to work, he went to the tree to find the problems and they weren't there. So I think that's a very important lesson for us. Thank you so much for sharing, Karthik. Next, I'm going to say Vidu because it's easier. Can we unmute?
Bharadwaj Vedula.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in our group, we discussed about that situations, what we have conflict in our lives, and ultimately the conclusion was we have to the same what we actually the problem which I have explained in the group is the same which you have mentioned. So being angry on my kids, so that I also personally felt that I should have taken the time to realize, give some space, and then react to the situation, which was not happened on that day. So ultimately in the group, we discussed each of these situations and we got that common conclusion that after the situation we have to take that 5 to 10 seconds break or breathe for some time, and then react on the situation, so that the aggressiveness which we are there at the starting point of the conflict will not be there by end of the 10 seconds, so that we will be having some more thought process on that situation. We can move forward in that. So it's the same thing will applicable in all the situations of our lives. So, and one more point we discussed is we have to be that in the angry or in the situations we can have that reactions will be leading to good things also sometimes 10 to 15%, but most of the 80 to 85% it will be negative side only. So we have to take that break and take the situation forward.
Fantastic. Now, do you know why I like your name? Probably no idea.
No.
My favorite film is Tamasha with Ranbir Kapoor. And of course, the character is Ved, which is part of Vanilla. In fact, this last weekend we had a 35th wedding anniversary, and I took my wife to murder mystery dinner. And we had to have code names. So my name was Ved, and her name was Mona Darling. Oh, thank you so much for sharing. Okay, great. Now let's move on, please. Next slide. Yeah, so we kind of went through the emotions and things like that we're feeling. Now, what's really behind all of this? We're going to do a really neat, interesting, because, unless we're aware of what's going on, we can't really fix things or change things. Next slide. So we're going to look at a situation and kind of break it down a little bit. I don't think I need to read this to you. You can read this, get an idea of what's going on. We got two people here. And what's behind the words? Okay, so why do you think there was a tightening in the chest? He's feeling defensive. And then, Jordan, it's not my fault. But his boss is saying, hey, it's not just that you left me out, but this is, this kind of disrespect. What I'm the leader. I'm the senior leader. What's going on here? What don't you value me as a leader? So we're going to do a neat exercise. Next slide. Has anybody heard of the 7 Whys? You have, Lata? Okay. I love the 7 Whys because it's just lots of times things that are on the surface that interfere with communication may not be what's really going on. And I always say, anytime you get upset about something, leave 10%, at least 10% for the part you don't know. Okay, next. So there are 7 levels to this, but we don't always have to go through all 7. But whenever you reach a point where you feel, that's the real reason behind the emotions you're showing behind your communication. Next slide. I have a couple of examples. Okay, so you say, I want to have a nice body and all this kind of stuff, and then here are some questions. Okay, so why do you want to have this nice body? And you go through this and you find out it's not the body that this person is looking for. The real thing is this person wants to have a stronger relationship. So it's about relationships, not body. But sometimes we have to dig deeper and deeper to understand what's triggering us, what's making us react the way we are. There was an interesting story. Is anybody familiar with Mind Valley? There's a guy called Vishen Lakhiani. Mind Valley is a great training platform. It is, I've been a member for a number of years. Vishen is based out of Malaysia. And he was telling a story of when he was working in the US, he was teaching yoga and some things like this. And this one person who worked with him said that she wanted to do some overload. And he was asking, well, why do you want to do overload? Well, I need more money. Okay, that sounds very straightforward. But he did the 7 whys with her. It's not the money that she wanted. Her mother was living in another city, and she wanted to bring her mother to live with her. So that was the real reason. It wasn't just the money thing. So I think lots of times we need to explore more deeply to understand why we react and communicate the way we do. Next slide. Another example, and this is more work related. Same kind of thing. You can imagine a situation. You miss your deadline. What's going on? Okay, how do you feel when somebody talks to you like that? Hey, whoa. Hold on here for a second. You don't want to feel blame or anything like that. I love this exercise because before we can communicate more effectively, we have to know what's going on inside ourselves. So this is a great exercise, I think, to dig deeper. So why did the team fall behind? So why did you miss the deadline? Why did the team fall behind? Why did technical issues take long? So that we have a resources allocation issue. Okay. It's not just I didn't do my job. Next slide. Now, we're going to go back into a longer breakout session. You've got a situation where you've got one person you need to choose who's going to be. One's going to be a senior leader, one's going to be a project lead, one's going to be an observer. You're going to have a work-related situation where you do some, try to make it as real as possible. And then you're going to have a reflection period. So like Alex, senior leader, and you want it to be heated. You don't want to say, oh, hi, are you having a nice day? No, you want to go into a conflict. And just make it like and I belong to the Humoroids Toastmasters Club, and we have these kind of table topics where we have these role plays we need to do. So you're doing a kind of role play, and make it heated, because we're practicing conflict resolution. And then pay attention to what's happening inside your body. So we're going to break out into the same breakout groups as before. Spend a few minutes having a heated conversation, then and raise the heat as realistically as you can from your own experience. And then reflect together what was going on with you. What was, oh, I stopped thinking. I don't know, I couldn't think anymore because you made me angry. These kinds of things. Discuss what's happening here. And one person is the observer. And so you've got Alex, the senior leader, talking about what's going on with him or her. And these names can go either male or female. Jordan will be doing the same thing, but the observer will be sitting back and just noticing what's going on. Okay, if there's time, within the 15 minutes, you can switch roles if you want. Is this clear what you need to do? You need to do a kind of modeling of what we were just talking about, but you can throw in your own parts from your own experiences. It's okay. Okay, back to the breakout rooms, please.
So some of you might be in new breakout rooms because you have rejoined and I had to assign you randomly. Right. So by 8:35, 8:36, you will come back. Right. All the best.
Let me see. Ashma?
We had
Ashima or
some
Ashma?
powwows.
Yeah, it's a powwow.
We
See,
can proceed.
Ashma.
Everyone's here in the main room.
Okay, fantastic.
Yeah.
Let me respond. So Nitin, I'm responding to your first message. This is only important if you're in the Middle East, if you're in an Arabic-speaking country. Okay, so Shema or Ashma?
Yes, I'm there.
Yeah. Okay. So tell us about these fights you had.
Okay, we didn't had fight as like the thing is that we were on that peak. Um, I was the Alex and my team partner was Lata and Sujit was the observer. So I was about to get on to the peak and Lata is like, okay, let's just cut. It's like 5 minutes, our conversation is over. So I was like, okay, let me just not go to my peak. So we just ended up in the middle.
So how about your feelings? Did the observer notice the feelings or did you?
Yes. Our observer felt that the whys of Alex were so strong that Jordan has to, literally bow down to the whys because he didn't had any logic behind it why he could not deliver or execute on time. So the escalation needs to happen, and Jordan has no logical reasoning to it. And this is the reason the whys of Alex were non-stop, the grilling was non-stop, and going to peak level, almost to an aggressive level.
I've just put in the chat. There's a film. Have you seen the movie The Experiment? There are there are two varieties of this. It's an interesting film because out in California in the early 70s, they set up they just wanted to see how situations would affect human behavior. So they, paid volunteers. Half of them were going to be prisoners and not in a real jail, but in this lab, and the other half were going to be the jailers. And just what happened, they had to stop the experiment because it was reaching dangerous levels. Yeah, so that's what happens. One thing that I learned, I was just talking to Jyoti about this a little bit ago, was that one thing I learned was that if you just shut up and listen, really listen, you take power out of the other person. You let that, but and this is good for husbands and wives as well. If you try, you go on you're talking with your spouse and no, just be quiet, let it out, and then it's just like, okay, now let's talk. Okay, thank you so much for sharing. Latha?
Okay, so we were three of us. Saravanan was the project manager. I was Alex. He was Jordan, and Mentor Chatur was our observer. So it was like I had to empathize and get into Alex's shoes and understand the pain he goes through when he's being left out as a leader who's supposed to give approvals and at the same time take the blame for things what he has not done. So I had to keep asking him the whys. the 7 whys we talk about. Why? And my project manager is not having answer. And he's roaming around with one answer. And then I make it very clear that I'm the boss, I'm the leader. You need to take my approvals, and I cannot take the blames wherein I have not done anything. And we have to work as a team, not as individual people over there, and see that the deadlines, what we had promised to our clients, do not go further. So this was good, and our observer mentor Chatur put out very good points with regards to our body language, our tones, and everything what he observed, and how I do a little an act of being angry and pitching my voice a little high, because I had to show that emotions. If you have to be angry and you're really feeling very bad, it shows in your emotions always, with your, especially with your voice and facial expressions over there. So I have to bring all that out. And it was something what I could learn and understand, that when you are in such tight spot over any time as a leader, how you need to, instead of reacting at times, first we may burst out, and then we will slowly respond and understand how we can make better of that situation rather than making it more bad of it. Thank you.
Thank you. When I was a coordinator at the university, I had one Sudanese Swedish teacher, and sometimes she'd be so frustrated, and I would let her come into my office and shout. And you think, come on, you have to show respect. You shouldn't do that. But I said, look, I would rather her let it out now to me rather than let that out on the students. And then once, of course, she let it out, okay, listen, this is bothering me. Then we could work on it. And Bhavana, thank you, Latha. Appreciate that. Bhavana asked how to make my pleasure. Bhavana asked how to make the other person pause. This is what we're going to be talking about next, and this is the validation part. So when we validate what the other person is saying, doesn't mean agree. It just shows understanding. I understand, what you're coming from. I don't agree necessarily, but that's how you make the person pause. I understand. I understand where you're coming from. And then that shows that, hey, it's not this kind of situation. Bhavana, did you have something else you wanted to? Something you'd like to add?
Yes, regarding this role play that we did. So we had Serene, myself, and Dipsha. So I was as the offended leader, and Dipsha was the lead. So our conversations, the patterns that we noticed is either of us were into our own shows. We didn't even listen. We were not empathizing. We were continuing to tell that we are right. So that's how we were
Have to be
really
right.
counting on. Yes, our words were really high for a minute, for more than a minute, and slowly the the arguments were heated, and it was about to outburst. So that's how. So the thing is, like, though there was a little bit instances where we touched upon the appreciation points, but that didn't come out very well. So, I mean, that was not able to be acknowledged by the other person. And that's how the conversation really went on heated.
No, thank you for sharing. And that's what happens. I mean, if you don't step back, they say pause, breath, respond. It's so easy to get caught up. It's so easy. It doesn't take much, like this. If we just let go. I just again, I'm in Mind Valley, and I just messaged a friend. They have these protests in Zurich for this Davos meeting, and there's a Mind Valley friend from Zurich, a Swiss friend, and I asked him, was he part of these protests? And he said, look, I'm working on myself. They have their thing. I need to keep my calm, things like that. So that's what all this is about. It's about keeping our calm and not getting sucked into this monster of a situation. Thank you for sharing, Bhavana. One more, Sibaram.
Yeah, thanks, Saran, actually giving that good scenario. We have get it with a heated topic regarding the promotional. So Sajid was a project lead, and I was actually a senior lead, and Saran was observer. When I mentioned, right, you didn't promote as a list of 7, your name is came 7, and top 5 you have to promote. He was furious and shouting, right? This is I'm listening last many years. Why this not happened to me? but I was calm and composed and listen. I see this is data. See, your list also there. Your list is 7. Unfortunately, I tried from my side, but due to this fact and figure, when I explained right, Sajid is a promotion. He understand. So we didn't go to heated. When he started conversation, initially I understand. I understand the pinpoint, and then when I am respond with the fact and figure, he understood. Okay, he'll think. Okay, I'll try my best. Then I promised to kill right. Okay, we'll do next appraisal, which is mid appraisal, and that time I'll push again to you. So where happiness came to his face and tried to convince him actually. So instead of heated, we understand each other. He understand the situation, and he's saying also I have to be there in a corporate many years. I don't want to fight. So I will try my best, and I'll wait for next appraisal on that actually. So the conversion went smoothly on that actually, I can say.
Yeah, but sometimes you just have to let
Right.
it out, and then find out what's going. When I was in teaching this one class in the UAE, I was upset with this one female student. I was in teacher mode. You're not turning in your work. You're part of a group project. You're not all this kind of stuff. Like a teacher should be. And then finally, I pulled her aside because I said that's not working. Okay, what's going on? Her parents were going through a separation. Each one was pulling him. You have to live with me. No, you have to live with me. Yeah, and she was torn. How are you going to focus? Here she was just trying to hold herself together. And the last thing she needed was for a teacher to say, hey, you're not doing this and all that kind of stuff. So less times we always need to leave that 10% for the part we don't know or we don't understand. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thanks. Yamuna, last one. Sorry, and then Shruti, maybe save your comment for the next one because we have to. I know I don't want to run over too much.
It will be quick one. Yes, that will be quick one. As just now he was mentioning. First of all, thank you so much. This breakout room really worked. Both the breakout rooms. I was thinking why this breakout rooms coming up frequently, but now I understand. You made us learn practically today. Thank you so much, and kudos for that. First of all, I want to acknowledge that. Then we had a scenario where Karnakar was the observer and myself was the warden and Alex was Ram. As a boss, he was debating, heat conversation, multiple wise, everything was going on. It was just in a peak, as everybody were mentioning. But when it came to me, I started appreciating as a leader where he's standing today, what he made us. I just crossed that deviation to the appreciation mode, and then I started explaining where we as a team standing right today in the organization. That made the heat conversation just the graph was like this, just started coming down. He started listening to me. We together came to the conclusion saying, yes, let's think through and we will discuss upon this in the next call. So this was our set and we had a great team and great learning though. Thank you so much again.
My pleasure. And it's going to get even better in the next breakout.
Yes, ready for it.
Thanks so much. Okay. Next slide, please. And see, that's why I don't like to talk too much. And see, when you're working on this, you get so much more benefit. I mean, for me, I've got about 5 minutes. And if I'm not engaged, I start sleeping. Okay, so now we're going to go a step further and we're going to look at the model that we were discussing at the beginning. Next slide, please. Listen, validate, lead. So this is all about, listen, shut up and listen. Even if the other person is blah, 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 just let that person validate. Yes, but no, that's not going to lead you anywhere except more conflict. Yeah, but no, that's not going to take you anywhere except places you don't want to go. So we're going to look at this in a little bit more detail. We're going to listen, validate, where we don't have to agree, but I understand you're upset. I understand that this is important for you. And then go to the next level. Next stage, next slide, please. So here are some examples of some validation statements. It's sort of like in Toastmasters when we do the evaluations. If the way I do evaluations, I never say things like you didn't, you should have, you could have. No, because that carries a particular weight. But I see, I empathize. I see where you're going with this. I don't advise. I just acknowledge. And if I'm not sure, then I make sure that I ask to make sure that we're on the same page. Next slide. I'm looking at my clock here. So we've got one last breakout session. So basically, we've got 3 people. We've got 3 scenarios to choose from. Either one person is left out of the loop and feels upset, or somebody's giving feedback and the other person feels defensive, or you're avoiding talking about something, like the elephant in the room. So what you're going to do, you're going to choose a scenario. You've got 3 people, a leader. It could be any 2 people, doesn't make any difference. And you've got one observer, like before. Somebody, well, you should have let me know, or, yeah. Well, you feel like it's not easy for you to accept the feedback. Okay. Now, you always say that, this kind of thing, or, like something needs to be discussed, but you don't want, for whatever reason, you're not discussing it directly. So then once you choose the scenario and you choose who's going to be doing what, then you practice that listen, validate, lead model. You listen without interrupting or defending. As hard as that is, bite your head. You validate. So what you're saying is, so what I understand is these kinds of sentences, and then lead with one question or move that lowers tension. So what do you think? Offer a way out that's not threatening. So basically, you've got that role play. You've got 4 to 5 minutes, and then reflect, like we did in the last one. And then when we come back, if I'm not able to call on everybody because I know the time is running, then you can put your impressions or your experiences in the chat. So you can make the chat on fire. Okay, is this clear? Okay, so this is going a step further than what we've just done. We've got 3 different scenarios. But this one, we're focusing on listening without interrupting or defending. We're purposefully validating what the person who's upset is saying. Doesn't mean agreeing. Just mean, yeah, I understand what you mean. I understand what you're saying. From what I see, and then lead with a question. Well, what do you think about a solution, a way out to escape from this, or to resolve this situation? Okay, any questions? Go to it.
Everyone is back. We can begin.
Okay. Have you validated?
Yes, we did.
Okay. Rasmi, would you like to share what you've been doing
Yep, sure.
with your group?
Yep. So we have selected that criticism part, the scenario where feedback is considered as heard as criticism, and we used Toastmasters evaluation feedback as an example scenario. So I was the person who gave the feedback. I was the evaluator who gave feedback for my fellow Toastmasters icebreaker speech. So I did give. So what it was like, it was little concerning when I pointed 5 positive things, then 3 suggestions to improve. Let's example on eye contact, using the stage, and a few more. Yeah, spend some more time. Like be prepared for 4 minutes. So that was the example which we did, and my fellow Toastmaster received it with a pinch of salt. She responded saying, "Yeah, did you?" She answered asked the question back, lead with one question. Did Roseby receive similar feedback for her icebreaker speech? So that was a good one. We really enjoyed the conversation, and we had our observer sharing her thought as well to give us sophisticated feedback.
The thing is, I remember I used to always give workshops on evaluations, hamburger style. You start with positive, 2, maximum 3 points for improvement. And I remember one time I slipped up. I'm the one giving these workshops. This is in the 1990s. And there was a kind of shy Canadian member, and I was too harsh. And she stopped attending for a while, and it was because of me, of the feedback. And we have to be so careful about this, because words can carry so much weight sometimes, and yeah, but it's not always easy to accept feedback.
Yeah,
we don't have to agree with it, but the validation part. So thank you so much for sharing, Rasmi. If you don't mind, I'm going to call in 2 people who haven't talked yet, shared yet, and let's go to Shruti. Hey, Shruti, you're muted. Yep.
Yeah. So thanks for considering. I think in our team we had a example of being a president. So we are a well with the club and with the VPPR. So where sometimes when you want to post anything and how it has been literally controlled between the leaders saying that, hey, I want to monitor it. I think this is where, because both are experienced Toastmasters over here, and where we have built in those club, and we want to ensure that the legacy of the club is maintained. Both are right in this. I think we first the debate was the VPPR was not given the free hand. Then it was quite openly discussed between the president and the VPPR. VPPR brought in the points that we are making for the members and let's make it transparent. Initially, president told that each role has their responsibilities, and let's see that being this 7 leaders, we will handle it, where president will mantle it. But throughout the discussion, we saw that there were arguments saying that what's right, wrong. Like when he said to bring in the members, the president just said yes, he understood the requirement, and how we brought in that is by adding associates to the role. So with this, it's like you're bringing the transparency and the trust. So here,
That's the
listen.
leading part, but how about the validation part?
Yeah, validation was done, telling that the members had to be involved, and the president even appreciated the work which has been done by the VPPR, like the good works. Both up. It's like it ended in first it was with an argument saying that I am right, I am right. Then it came to the point saying that what helps for the club better, and the transparency of bringing the club other members through a associate member and having a executive meetings very frequently, that's where the VPP are led in the conversation saying, bring the team members so that we can grow to the higher heights.
No, thank you. You know, one thing that's not in today's training, but I do it in other training, is one thing we always need to be aware of is that's the 4 C's of different kinds of leaders. Somebody's a comptroller who's concerned about the details. Somebody is a crusader. We need to do this. Somebody's a collaborator who needs to do this. And whenever we have these situations, we need also to communicate at the style that they need. So there are some, as you may find from work or whatever, there are some who love a lot of details. There are others, just give me the bullet points, and we have to adapt our communication styles to match what they need. Thank you so much for sharing, Shruti.
Thank you, Shruti.
Ramprasad?
Yeah. First of all, I would like to appreciate Shannon because this is one of the session I stayed for 2 hours. I didn't feel like it's 2 hours. I feel it's like 5 minutes. So, all the 3 discussions was great, and in this third discussion we had a scenario where the manager will be asking a team lead why you use the fund, and the lead use the fund for the team engagement. So manager is always asking, you don't use a fund, and there is the budget constraint, and the lead will be supporting a team saying that I need to do that because I need a team engagement. The discussion went like this. So the managers always say that, okay, don't use that, to try other option. But the lead is saying we need to do that because it add a value to the team and where the performance improves. So at the discussion went like that, and we have observer. So Yamuna, she has given a great feedback saying that the discussion went very good, but the one of the thing was, so when we started the discussion, we are missing appreciating each other, how the team is doing, how the manager is doing. So if you can do that, the conversation should be in a different way. And
just the validation part, it's sometimes we forget to do that. We don't take time to do that, but that eases so much tension.
Exactly.
I understand where you're coming from.
Yeah, and the second point was always when the manager asked a question, immediately I responded. So she asked, so take a pause and then respond. So it will different, the tension will ease and it will be good.
Oh, fantastic. Thank you so much for sharing. Appreciate that. And if you haven't spoken, then please put in the chat your experience and that. I hope will the chat be saved? Okay, because I haven't had time to go through everything. So before we move on, just real quickly with Sajid. Is Sajid here?
You mean me? Yes, I'm here.
Okay, hi Sajid. Okay, you were asking a question in the chat about the why exercise.
Yes.
Okay, what was your question exactly?
Yeah, in that previous assignment, I think we are supposed to ask that why question for the reason to dig inside the reason, but that was not done in our club. But I was also asking without so in such a controversial issue, how can we apply that? Why that is what my concern. How
that was more of an awareness exercise. Not something you would never go to your boss and say, well, why did you do that? You would never do that in real life. But it's important for ourselves, especially, to understand what's making us behave or act or say the things we are. And sometimes we have to dig deeper, within ourselves. And that's the purpose of that exercise.
Yes, that's right. Okay, that can be applied in a coaching session or like this when they are on a consent on a particular purpose or goal. That can be digged inside. But in a controversial situation, how this why can be? That's why.
Yeah, no, you're really upset some people if you go to your boss and say, well, why did you say that? Well, why does that make you feel? Say, hey, no, but just for ourselves, like for example,
Yes.
choose any time that something you got angry about. Okay. Why did I get angry about that? He called me a bad name. Okay. Why does him calling me a bad name upset me? He didn't respect me. Okay. Why don't I feel respected? You can go through this process and you may uncover things that you had no idea. That him calling you a bad name may have, for you, I mean, or anybody, may have been a validation because when you were a kid, these bullies called you a bad name. And so it could go back to childhood, it could go back to so many things. So the why exercise is more internal for our own purposes.
Yes.
It's useful to know.
Thank you, sir. Great.
My pleasure. Thank you. Okay, let's go to the next slide. I'm conscious of the time. I'm keeping you up late. And my caffeine is working. And how I've not had to go take a toilet break, I have no idea. 3 cups of coffee, and everything's good. Okay, next slide. So, reflection is, when this is not about fixing things. It's just becoming more aware of what's going on inside of ourselves, what's going on inside of the conflict, so that we can react better. So how do we listen? This is so important. Are we the kind? Yeah, but when we're talking, are we thinking? Yeah, 2 minutes ago she said this. How are we listening? How are we validating? Are we validating in a way that the other person can breathe and become less defensive? And how do we lead under pressure? Are we pushing to be right? Or are we looking to see how we can make things smoother, more peaceful, more productive? Okay, next slide. Again, you've got this. You have access to all this. Some ideas to leave you with. Listening builds understanding. Validation builds trust. Leading creates clarity. Sometimes we just need small shifts, and that all begins with awareness. Next slide.
And question here: when you
Yes, sir.
validation, what kind of validation is always required in the conversation?
Look, Prasad, I understand that you may not have gotten that point exactly, but let me just kind of repeat what I understand. So what you're saying is that you're unclear about what validation means, right?
Yes.
Okay, that's validation right there. So I'm acknowledging what you're going through.
Okay.
I just did the validation with you right there.
Okay. Yeah, real time. Yeah, great.
Yeah. Does that help? Because once we do that, it's just maybe you're upset. Maybe you're upset. I don't understand this. Why are you talking about this validation? I don't understand it. Okay, just as an example. Okay, yeah, Ramshad, I understand. You may be a little bit upset because it's frustrating for you. So it's sort of like acknowledging where you're coming from. And then after that, you say, okay, he kind of gets me. So I don't have to be so defensive. I don't have to go in attack mode. Yeah, so that's what that is.
It kind of empathy.
Yeah, this is all empathetic listening and communication. Pavana, question.
Yeah, yes, Shannon. So I have a question. Say, for example, here in the Alex situation, the listen, validate, and lead is the listening happens when the second person is listening. So how should the first person start? So there, even we should be more.
It comes back to the saying, we can't control what happens, We can only control how we react to what happens. So the first person, you can't do anything about that. Straight off. Where did you go? Bhavana, you switched over here. We can't control that person, but we have to deal with that situation because that's setting up the conflict. But if I don't, so you're upset about something, or you're angry about something, or when I say, okay, let me make sure I understand what's going on. I'm setting up a basis for resolution. Does that make any sense, sir?
Yeah.
You can't control what the first person does. You can control how you handle the situation. And that's for validation. And when you start the validation part, you take out some of the power of the first person. Because the first person becomes less defensive, less aggressive.
Got it. Yeah. Yeah. And one more thing is, for example, if the person gives out a response which is not really worth validating, how should we even proceed?
Give me an example.
Okay, so that happens, heated argument between a debt person and the person who has borrowed. So if the person is not ready to repay and he's blunting out, so what kind, even when we make it in a listen validate, the person is still very sure of not repaying back. So how does that goes?
Again, remember, validating does not mean agreeing. Okay, so I understand you're having some difficulty these days paying your debts. I understand that life is hard for you right now. That's all validation is. It's not about, oh, it's okay. You don't have to pay me back. Oh, it's okay. That's another thing. But when you say, I understand times are hard and you're trying your best, then it doesn't mean it's going to solve the problem, because we're not fixing things here. But it takes some of the heat down.
Okay.
If the person is never going to pay you back, I mean, that's a character issue. And no matter what you say, but if you say, well, I'm going to call the police, that's going to take the conversation in a different direction.
Okay, so ideally here as leaders, we are going to maintain the calm and composed nature.
You're the ones who are in charge, and it's you want everybody on board, and you're not going to do that by you didn't do this. I thought I told you to do that. Why didn't you do that? No, that's not going to help. But we always have to be aware that like I told you about the student I had. Her parents are going through divorce situations. That prevented this particular student. She was being torn between her mother and father. So there are some things. Doesn't mean that, hey, it's okay, never mind. But I understand your situation. Then that takes a load off the other person, because that person doesn't have to prove himself or herself. It's just, okay, she gets it. Now let's go to the next stage. Kind of.
So, yeah, thank you.
My pleasure, Bhavana. Sweetie.
Yes, Shannon. Thank you so much for this session. I really enjoyed the session. To tell you, I always used to feel that I am I'm not like others where my other colleagues as leaders, they keep, taking their team to the room and saying why this is not done, why that is not done. But I always say, yes, let's do it, because ultimately, if they do it, then I feel that we do it together. So when it is given to me, I will have to make sure that they do it, and then I present it and then complete it within the deadline. But today I felt I am on the right track, that I will have to listen to them and then validate and then keep pushing them and support them, especially in the second activity I felt. But one situation in the third scenario, I felt we had picked up the first scenario where I'm left out of loop. So one question where when we were doing the role play, me, Abhilasha, and Lulu was the observer there, and Abhilasha and me are facing the same situation. How like we have to validate when somebody is venting out, we have to listen to them. But when it is a senior person and then he or she has a mindset that it is because of the past experience or something, and they are not able to come out of that, even if they are wrong at their place, how much do we still have to say that okay fine, because we know very well the person is like that? So
But there
what do
are
you
a,
advise?
a couple things there. One is you need to step into your position. What that means is my boss in the UAE was from Kerala, and she ruled by fear. Okay, so everybody was afraid of their jobs, and then she made it clear she fired people and all this kind of stuff. So people were afraid, they didn't want to lose their jobs, so they kept quiet.
Yes.
Which meant that burnout, anger, two-facedness, and all these other things. Now, we could no way to fix the issue, but to understand the issue. She had a situation growing up, her father was killed, and these kinds of things kind of led to this kind of personality. And we're not here to fix things. We're more on how we can relate, how we can calm things down. In this particular case you were talking about, I would definitely not do that publicly. I would do it one-on-one. Can I have a discussion with you? This is what I'm feeling. This is what I understand from you. And we also have to keep in mind what personality that the leader has, because maybe this leader only wants solutions, not problems.
Yes.
I think you have to tailor everything to that personality. That's just our challenge.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you so much, Shannon. Yeah.
Thank you, sweetie. Appreciate it. Last slide, please. Okay, so basically the main thing about this is, if today resonated with you, just try to apply what we've learned today to leadership conversations you're already having. Pay attention to how you feel, to what you assume, and how you choose to respond. That's what leadership is. It's no magic bullet. It's no magic there. It's just becoming aware of ourselves first, understand what's happening in the communication, and go forward from there. Okay, I am keeping you guys way over. I mean, at the very beginning, Jyoti was talking about time management and all this kind of stuff, and here I have just kindly thrown everything out the window. So I apologize for that. I appreciate you coming out. You're not going to kick me off yet, are you, Jyoti?
At all.
Okay, so I can go through the comments over here, right?
Yes, you can.
Okay.
Yes, you may. I'm not very sure if it's going to be recorded, these comments, so Shannon, don't hold me responsible. If it's available, I'll send it to you. I'll send it
Well,
to you.
if you have other business you want to do, at
Yes, so
least give me
I'll
some
close
time
the
to.
session. I'll proceed with saying thank you to you, if you don't mind.
Yeah, it's okay.
All right, thank you very much, Shannon. Well, you spoke about time management. I don't blame you with on that one, because I gave you the session at 7:45, which was 15 minutes late than a normal session. So my apologies, and thank you very much, Shannon. It was a pleasure listening to you and those beautiful pearls of wisdom, where in the end, it is all the choices that you make to be a good leader. So thank you for reiterating it, and lovely session, a very different way of conducting the session. I hope all our leapers have enjoyed this and you were active in all those 3 breakout sessions. And if you were not, then you'll have to go back and see what is the choice that you have made to be a good speaker or have healthy conversations. Shannon, please accept. I know you're a busy person and you're very committed, and you are in a crucial phase of dealing with your mom and taking care of her, but you chose to do this session, for which I and the Leapers, or the Leapers and I, are forever grateful, and I really value this. Thank you very much, Shannon. And please accept the small token of appreciation, or rather gratitude, for coming here and being with us and spending 2 hours of your time, or more than 2 hours, and the countless emails and messages and the pre-session sittings that we've had. Thank you very much, Shannon. Appreciate it. I will send this to you by email. Yes, Shannon?
Where's the certificate for the dosa?
For the dosa?
The voucher. I can use it over here.
No,
I know where I could use
I plan to make the dosa and send it to you. Okay, so I'll send it. You have to taste the dosa I make. Right? If it reaches the United States safely. Thank you very much.
Actually, you have all the ingredients here, but I don't
Yes,
advise
so
you to
I'll
cook
send you the recipe, then you can cook it. You can make it for yourself. So thank you very much, Shannon. It was fun. I had a lot of fun. It was going back to our old times and having the fun that we had in the other district, that's District 105 that we were a part of. Thank you very much, Shannon. And please continue
Shall I go off the screen and then
Yes,
read the
you can.
messages?
You can. Yes, yes.
Okay.
So can we all
See everybody.
unmute ourselves and say thank you to Shannon?
How about the
You can do a screen.
Thank you so much.
Thank
so
you,
much,
Sharon.
Thank you so much,
Thank
Sharon.
you.
Thank
You
you.
can do a
Sure.
video
Picture.
of everybody or no?
Picture. I forgot the picture. I don't know. Okay, I'm getting old.
Forget the picture.
I'm forgetting. All right.
Thank you.
Hold
You
on,
know,
Shannon. We have to click a picture.
it was so funny because in the UAE, lots of times I was the only white guy with all the Indians and Arabs. So what happened was here was Casper the Friendly Ghost. I was so easy to find. They have all these. Where's Shannon? Oh, there he is, Casper.
Darren, please spotlight yourself as well. Yes. All right. Say cheese, Shannon, or dosa.
This is everybody.
No, this is just
No. This
the
is
trainer
just
right now, and then I'll take everybody.
Jyotika, what about biryani? That's his favorite.
Yes, biryani as well.
Only when I lose my appetite.
We'll go for dosa.
All right, everybody keep smiling because now I do spotlight, and yes, keep smiling. There are 3 screens, so you'll have to bear with me. I can see Bharadwaj on the aircraft.
I don't think I've smiled for this long for a long time.
Thank you. Back to you, Jyotika.
Thank you very much, Daryl. I have one important task to execute, and that's why I can still see the number as 5354, and I know what you all are waiting for. All right, but should I still make you all wait or thank you. Should I still make you all wait or hand it over to Daryl and then come back? What do you all want to do?
We want the results soon.
You all will not listen to Daryl after that. So Daryl, that little bit.
No, we promise to listen.
Wait.
Yeah, we promise to
we will
listen to Daddy.
We will listen.
No,
Wait for some time, listen to Daryl, and then it doesn't hurt. Just 2 minutes. Daryl, over to you.
Oh, thank you, Jyotika. I'm glad at least for the next 5 minutes they will clearly listen to me. But jokes apart, let me quickly share my screen and tell you what is in store for the week ahead. Just a second, I have the wrong window open. All right, I do not know if you were happy that there was no pre-reading material, but I think if you have seen our community, Reenu has just posted your post-session assignment, which has 2 parts. One is a real-life conversation practice. So where you initiate a conversation with somebody who you find it difficult to speak to, engage in a conversation with them and implement the learnings that you had from here into that conversation, and then reflect on your learnings and journal it down. There are a few scenarios or few questions that you need to answer as part of the journaling experience. So note them down and submit it to your mentors by the 25th of January 2026. All right, the individual project presentation level 2, where we have 9 leapers moving ahead to the second level. That the presentation will happen on Sunday, 25th Jan from 11:30 a.m. to 12:30 noon. All right, so those of you who move forward, please do block your calendars, and we look forward to seeing your presentations on Sunday. Like I always say, post your reflections on the session conducted on your LinkedIn profile. You can share your thoughts and appreciate our trainers and mentors as well on our Leap 3.0 LinkedIn page. The feedback form has already been shared in the chat as well as in our community. Please go ahead and fill it by Sunday, that is 25th of Jan. There are some of you who have not yet received your level 4 badge. You have not regularized your December score. And I think I speak on behalf of Jyotika when I say that is a little disheartening. So please go ahead. Those of you who have not received your badge, regularize your score and do not try and reach this particular stage again. We are in the 5th month, and I don't think this is a good place to be in if you are in that stage. Lastly, the Pathways Mentor status update. So I have released the poll in our chat, and I'm happy to note and inform that 2 leapers have already completed the Pathways Mentor program. So a huge shout out to Srinidhi and Bindushri for accomplishing this task. Congratulations. To the 27 of you who are on track and going to finish it by April, keep going. And the 4 of you who who felt motivated after that poll, keep going as well. The remaining 21 leapers who have not responded, I do not want to assume that you are not going to finish it. So please do react or reply on the poll, and we look forward to seeing all of you as Pathways mentors at the end of the LEAP program. That's it from my end, and now for the surprise reveal, over to you, Jyotika.
Thank you very much, Daryl. You know, my heart is beating so fast. While y'all are feeling it, I'm feeling it here. All right. Thank you very much, Daryl. So you spoke about regularization. You spoke about Pathways Mentor Program. Thank you for doing that. I would like to remind all of you, we want to create maximum Pathways mentors from here. So please take some effort, extra effort, and get it done. We want to have maximum mentors from this particular program. All right. Now, time for the reveal. How many of you are ready? If I'm going to waste another 1 minute, I'm sure all of you are going to shout at me. So I'm not going to waste time. All right. So let me do this right. Okay. All right. It's done right. Okay. Create some noise. Without that, y'all will not get it.
Yay!
Leap 3.0.
We are waiting. We are waiting. Yes.
Okay.
It is like waiting for result after it.
Yes. 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 So drum rolls, please. Okay. All right. So I've created this presentation, okay, so that we create some drama. And here it is. Finally, the top 9 projects that were shortlisted from the presentations that were made yesterday and day before. So first of all, congratulations to each one of you for taking time to come and present. So, group number 1. I hope we have everyone from group number 1 here. And the shortlisted project, remember, there's no winner or loser here, all right? This is shortlisted candidates here. The shortlisted presentation for group 1 is from Sharanya Subramaniam. Congratulations, Sharanya.
Sharanya, congratulations.
Congratulations, Sharanya.
Congratulations, Sharanya.
We will spotlight all of you and take a picture later because I don't know how to do all of that now. All right, now let's go to group 2. I hope all the group 2 members are waiting for the result. And the shortlisted project of group 2 is Lata Manoj. Congratulations, Lata.
Congratulations, Lata.
Congratulations, Lata. All
Congratulations.
right, let's move to group 3. Here it is. The shortlisted project of group 3 is Karthik R. Congratulations, Karthik.
Congratulations,
Congratulations.
Karthik.
Thank you, everybody.
All right, let's move to group 4. And the name for group 4 is Kavya Gauri.
Congratulations, Kavya.
Let's move to group 5. And for group 5, it is Bindushri L. Hearty congratulations, Bindushri.
Congratulations,
Bindu.
Bindu.
Thank you all.
All right, let's move to group 6. The shortlisted project for group 6 is Aditya Patnaik.
Congratulations, Aditya.
And the group 7, we have, I need some drum rolls. Unmute yourself and play the drums, all right? Group 7 is Nitin Suresh. Hearty congratulations.
Congrats, Nitin.
Nitin.
All right, group 8 here. Kalyani Bide from group 8. Hearty congratulations, Kalyani.
Congratulations, Kalyani.
Okay, and group 9, we have Rosmi Jose Valavi. Hearty congratulations, Rosmi.
Congratulations, Rosmi.
Congratulations, Rosmi.
And these are the 9 shortlisted projects who will move to the next level, and the presentation is on Sunday at 11 a.m., 11:30 a.m., where you will do the second phase of your presentation, from which we will have 3 shortlisted projects who will then go on to present in front of the global panel that we are having in February, together in front of all the members of the attendees of District 121 and beyond. So all I can say is hearty congratulations for this hard work. Prepare yourself well. Okay, let's take a picture before the advice. Let's take a picture.
So Nitin is not here. Let me just try calling him. Just give me 1 minute.
Right. So all 9 of you, please prepare yourself well. Prepare yourself in terms of time management, what you want to say, and even your presentation. I don't know how it was. I have to go through all the recordings. But if you need any help, please sit with your mentor, refine it, make it better so that you stand a chance to present it in front of the global panel. And I'm sure you don't want to miss that opportunity, right? We've got 3 international presidents coming in for the presentation, and we also have members of District 121 and beyond. So hearty congratulations, and I'm so proud of you. But wait, we have to click a picture. Let's ask Nitin to come back.
Jyotika, this time also it is a secret room presentation or audience can join.
Okay, that's a good thought, right?
Yeah.
Right. Good thought, good thought. Let me think about it, okay?
Yes.
Let me think and I'll let you all know.
Thank you for making it challenging.
Yeah, that's excitement, isn't it?
Yes, we see that each project has something to learn. So when they're
Yes.
talking about it, so it.
Yes, yes, that's a good thought. Thank you. Who was it? Ram Prasad, I think, right? Or
Yeah.
Yes, Ram Prasad.
Ram Prasad. Ram Prasad comes with brilliant ideas always, or rather questions.
Yeah, don't say that I'm asking so many questions. I have that name.
No, I like your questions because that's one of the reasons I think even Leap Connect also came in, because the first question he asked me was that, are we only going to meet our group members or even other members? So that brought in the thought of expanding the possibility. So is Nitin there, Darren?
He isn't here yet. I think we'll go ahead and click the picture.
Yeah, all right.
All right. So everybody on Spotlight, please smile. Thank you. And congratulations once again.
All right. So that's it from our end. It's almost 10 o'clock, but I hope it was worth the stay. The assignment is already, the post-session assignment has already been posted in the group. Please go and look at it, and we'll meet next time in the next
Jyotika,
class.
we have one PK announcement from
Oh, yeah. Right. So I'll
Yeah.
close the session maybe and then hand it over to you, and after that you all can, yeah. From my side, it is the meeting is adjourned, and I'd like to hand over the session to Srihari and then maybe Ram Prasad.
Yeah.
Srihari, over to you.
Thank you so much, Jyotika. Good evening, Leapers. Amazing news.
Good evening.
Very good
Amazing news
evening.
for everybody.
Yeah.
Leap Connect is full. House full hai. The show is packed. So good job, everyone. For all those who have registered, looking forward. It's the last 10 days to count down for Leap Connect 121 happening. Uh, Speaking of which, we have an amazing crew of liaison team who's going to be facilitating you with your travels towards Sakleshpur and back. Jyotika, Anita are coordinating from Mangalore, and I'm so happy to hear Mangalore has completely sorted out the travel plan to and from, and they're also co-facilitating it with Shilpa Rajan, who single-handedly is handling all the transport ideas for the people from Kerala. Coming up next, we have the liaison team from Bangalore. We have Ram Prasad Chandu and we have Sharanya Subramanian. Round of applause for both of them, who today are requesting you to complete your. Okay, I would love to hand over the stage to Ram Prasad here. Why don't you just put your announcement out there for everybody, please? Thank
Yeah.
you.
So in the Bangalore Leap Team separate group, we have put a voting. So where they need to thumbs up if they are coming on the common transport. If they are having a separate own transport, they need to update us. So based on that, we can plan what is the seater we need to book. So we are waiting for your confirmation. As of now, we had only 17 confirmation out of 25. So if everybody confirmed by today, so we can book tomorrow. So we are waiting for your confirmation. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much, Ram Prasad, for that.
Yari, can I just speak for a moment?
Yes,
Yeah.
Sharanya, screen is yours.
I just wanted to say this is one opportunity where you'll be able to meet and exchange ideas with the fellow leapers. And it'll be like a pre-socialization thing to do it in the bus. And we're going to have a lot of fun. I would suggest you guys and encourage you to take the bus if possible, because you will meet a lot of people and exchange ideas. If you can, please do that. Let us know so that we can book the bus at the earliest possible. Thank you and good night.
Thank you so much. Round of applause for my Bangalore liaison team, guys. They're doing everything for you. The least you can help them with is one response. Let's have it done within midnight tonight. All right. So we can take this on the next note. A lot of exciting announcements from Leap Connect coming to you guys this Sunday. Until then, this is Srihari signing off. Back to you, Jyotika. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. I think we should appreciate the effort the Leap Connect team is putting in, headed by Srihari. So hearty congratulations, Srihari, for getting this enormous response. I mean, it's amazing. It's amazing. And because of which, he also had to move the venue to a new place to give you an even bigger experience. So it's just getting exciting day by day. And thank you very much, Srihari, and your team for putting this entire Leap Connect together. With that, I'll call it a night and say good night, sleep well, and see you on Sunday.
Good night.